Remember all the talk of the blue wave, a Democratic landslide? Well, House Republicans defied that expectation last week by blocking efforts to expand a Democratic majority.
And many are crediting female candidates as the House GOP is set to add a record 13 women to its ranks.
This includes our next guest, who defeated Democrat Congresswoman Abby Finkenauer in Iowa. Congresswoman-elect Ashley Hinson joins us now. Congresswoman, that's got to be music to your ears to hear that every time that you do hear it. What was the difference in your race? You beat an incumbent, not an easy thing to do. How'd you do it?
Well, I think it just came down to driving all around the district. I'm a mom who drives a minivan. We have a mortgage. I'm an everyday Iowan, and that's really what it came down to. I listened to the concerns of the people in my district, and I think it was a very clear message that they said they're tired of the left-leaning rhetoric about Medicare for all, a Green New Deal, and Nancy Pelosi's stalling of much-needed aid for Iowa families. And so I think that's what it really came down to, hard work and a lot of miles on the mom van.
Congresswoman, congratulations on your win. I hear you on what drove out voters in Iowa. You plan to, it sounds like, stand in opposition to the radical agenda of the left. But one of the great lessons of Donald Trump's last 4 years is also a repositioning of the Republican Party when it comes to working class Americans. I'm curious where you, as a Republican representative, and what you think the House of Representatives will do to continue in that vein, to continue with that focus, or will it be returned to the Republican Party of 4 years ago?
Well, I think it's all about economic opportunity and prosperity, and how do we continue to push that forward no matter what our landscape looks like. That's why I ran for office in the first place, is to give families in Iowa the chance at a good life. That's what I think we all want. So continuing to focus on tax reform, if at all possible. I know your last guest was talking a little bit about that, infrastructure and how that affects everybody's daily life. Here in Iowa, I chaired the Transportation Committee in the Iowa House, so I've had some experience in looking at that and how infrastructure projects can really help our communities to grow and expand. So I think that's what this next Congress is going to be about. That's what our new generation of Republican leaders are about, is continuing to focus on ways where we can give everybody that economic prosperity and that opportunity going forward.
And Congresswoman-elect, just quickly, if you could just comment on that stat we mentioned earlier. That's a pretty big number, 13 non-incumbent Republican women. Big leadership role being taken by women in the Republican Party, especially considering that the left often labels that party anti-woman. A brief comment on that, if you will.
Well, I'm just so proud of the crop of incoming freshmen that we have. I've been spending the last couple of days on the phone getting to know a lot of them before we head out for orientation next week. But I think it's something to be proud of. A lot of the seats that we were able to flip were with Republican women. They were with veterans. They were with minorities. So right. I think it's a very clear signal that this is the future of the Republican Party right here, and we're ready to get to work.
All right, Congresswoman-elect Ashley Hinton, congratulations again on your big win.
Congrats.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Coming up, dueling demonstrations in Atlanta between Trump